So our teacher-based teams continue to look at those scores, and they or that data, and still continue to identify ways to help those students. So that is embedded in our culture here. So adding this is not something that is out of the ordinary. In fact, our teachers are really adept at using data for that kind of purpose. We put it into action. So our teaching does change in response to what the students are doing. We do look at NCEs. Those are, if you're a state assessment person, think of them as percentiles. We look at those percentiles so that we can see how our students are doing, whether they're growing. We always want to see them growing in their strengths and gaining percentiles that way. We do look at that readiness score. That's a big one that helps us know, okay, this student is likely to be successful in algebra, so that we can identify those pieces. And then, much like we were just talking about, we do look at those sub areas with this. And do we see any areas that we need to help strengthen with those students as they move into algebra? That really helps a great deal. So we can identify specifically what that student might need. So weave all of that together, and we've got very strong teacher teams who can use student information, analyze it well, and then turn it into effective practice, which is what we really want this to do. What we see more are areas. We'll see areas that maybe aren't as high as others, but we're not really using it to discourage any students from coming through that. Most of them in this compacted course, this compacted math, are algebra ready. They're prepared for that. Now, if we had a student that completely was not ready, we could always adjust that as well, and say, okay, you know what, I think 8th grade would be a better, let's revisit all of those standards for them. But if you look at the information that the assessment gives, there are readiness scores that range from yes, I am, to no, I'm not quite yet. And you could use that to identify students who need further support in instruction. For 8th graders, you have to remember their next course in sequence is typically Algebra 1. So we are sending them to Algebra 1. So what we use that for students who are going to Algebra 1 from the junior high is to identify those areas that need some reinforcement so that they are successful when they get to that course.